If excellent build quality, great sound, and a tolerable amount of volume are on your wish list for a new exhaust for your 2016 to 2023 3.5-liter Tacoma, then Borla has the answer for you. The S-Type is going to appeal to you if you want your truck to make some more noise, but you aren't willing to sacrifice your eardrums or give an inch on quality. On our loudness meter, this one is going to get a 3 out of 5. So if you're looking for outright volume, this probably isn't your system. However, it is still going to provide you with that fun, aggressive sound. It's just not going to be as obtrusive as some others out there on the market. That makes it a great choice for a daily driver or just to give a little spice to that company hauler. If you're familiar with their lineup, Borla offers different exhaust systems that vary in type and the volume of sound. What we have here today is the middle child, the S-Type. And as you heard from the clips, this sounds pretty darn good without being too obnoxious. It gives the 2GR V6 a good injection of character, since in stock form, these just sort of have a high-pitched whir to them. They don't really sound like a whole lot of anything. With the S-Type mounted up though, you get obviously more volume, but the tone is deeper than you might expect. There's a little touch of raspiness coming in. It very much makes me think of a race car, and I know that sounds silly, but if you watch those clips back, I think you're going to agree with me. But unlike a true race car, this isn't going to get your neighbors all in a twist as you drive by late at night or early in the morning. Inside of the cab, of course, you are going to get some more volume as well, but much like on the outside, not going to be too bad. Definitely noticeable, but it doesn't produce so much volume that you won't be able to hold a conversation or listen to music. And your passengers likely won't complain much either. This system provides a really good balance that will allow you to enjoy your truck without feeling overwhelmed by it. And that's because Borla takes great care to engineer their exhaust in such a way that there's no drone in any speed, in any gear, or at any RPM. And that is thanks to Borla's unique polyphonic harmonizing technology. So this is essentially the same type of science that goes into tuning pipe organs. They use different lengths of pipe to control the different frequencies, and that eliminates obtrusive or dissonant sounds. In this system, they're inside of the muffler. So you really can't see them too much in here. But what it means is that you're not going to get that annoying droning noise when you're cruising along like you might with a less expensive or a less well-made system. And that's the most important part in my eyes, because it's going to make this thing sound good and be tolerable every day. Now, finishing the whole thing off is this large 4-inch polished tip. This is going to take the place of your stock tip, obviously, and it's going to exit in the same spot as your factory exhaust as well. Much like the rest of the system, this really isn't over the top, but it's something that the keen-eyed will notice. And if you ask me, should have come with something like this from the factory, because this just looks good on every truck. The tip does tuck up kind of close to the quarter panel as well, so if you're going to be doing some off-roading, this will give you a little more clearance versus stock as well. The eagle-eyed enthusiast might spot that tip first, however, the real tip is going to be when you fire the truck up and they get to hear it for the first time. As far as construction goes, like we mentioned at the top of the video, this is a very high quality system. Borla makes all of their exhausts out of T304 stainless steel, so you're going to get excellent corrosion and rust resistance here. And as you can see, it's just a nicely put together exhaust. It's also only 3 pieces. The tip is welded on, which I like because it's going to make installation a little bit easier for you. The piping here is all 2.5-inch mandrel bent tubing. There's no wrinkles or creases in the metal, and it was all done, well, with some nice care because you can't see any marks from the mandrel bending machine in here. Now, all that nice flow means that the exhaust gases will flow smoothly through, and it allows your engine to breathe a bit better than the stock system. So you might feel an increase in response or power. We're not talking about a ton, but you might still feel something. And of course, you've got that 4-inch T304 polished tip to finish the whole thing off, which is just a nice extra visual splash. As with any Borla or other exhaust system of this quality, it's not gonna come cheap. This system will run you about $875, and that does put it toward the upper end of the category as far as pricing goes, but it's not quite as spendy as some others. You can really shell out for a nice exhaust, but you don't have to. This is a premium product. It is gonna command a premium price. You're getting a really high quality system with solid construction and good features. And even though it may not seem it at first glance, being, $875-ish, that is quite a good price for something like this. Most other exhaust systems that are of this quality and this kind of material are gonna cost you quite a bit more. As I always like to say, you get what you pay for in most cases, especially when it comes to exhaust. So it's worth spending a bit more on something like this Borla, especially if you want to have a very pleasant driving experience and avoid that drone we were talking about earlier. You also tend to get what you pay for when it comes to installation. This one will get a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and it's definitely a job that you can accomplish at home. Like I mentioned, it's only these 3 pieces. You should budget about 2 hours to get everything wrapped up as well. Now the kit overall is very inclusive. This should be everything that you need. However, if your truck is a crew cab with the 6-foot 1-inch bed, you're gonna need an adapter that Borla makes. We do of course have that available on our website as well, so just make sure you get what you need before you go ahead and start putting this on. Otherwise though, this is all just gonna bolt right up using your stock exhaust hanger locations, and you don't need to modify anything on the truck itself. With that, let's head on out to the shop and we're gonna walk you through the install process step by step.
Tools required for this install include an impact gun, an exhaust hanger remover tool, an extension, 14mm swivel socket, and a 15mm socket. What's up guys? Today we're installing an exhaust on our Tacoma, so let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is come right in front of our muffler. We've got one hanger that we're gonna pop off with a exhaust hanger remover tool, and then we'll take a 14mm swivel socket to remove the 2 bolts in our flange. Next, I'm gonna come back to the tip and remove our hanger right before it. Now, the 2 hangers behind the muffler we're gonna get last, because when you disconnect one of those, the whole exhaust likes to swing down at you. So I'm gonna grab a buddy before I pull those off. So now I've got my buddy here supporting the exhaust so it doesn't swing down on me. And I'm just gonna undo these last 2 hangers. And now we can pull this towards the front of the car and remove it. So now with our factory exhaust removed, we can start by installing our front pipe. Now if your exhaust gasket is as crusty as this one, I would definitely recommend replacing it before you throw this on. Now this has a kink that's gonna kick out towards the passenger side. So just get your orientation right and then start threading in your factory bolts. And then grab a 14mm swivel socket and tighten those down. I like to go back and forth, tighten down my flange evenly. Next we can install our muffler. So I'm gonna take one of our clamps, slide it over the front pipe for now. And then I'm gonna work on getting our rod into our front hanger and connect it to our pipe, and then we'll work on our back 2 hangers. And now we'll work on getting it into our back hangers. Now we can go back to our clamp, slide that in place, and take a 15mm socket to tighten it down. And now lastly, we have our tailpipe. So take the clamp, slide it on, and then get this up over the axle, slide it onto your muffler outlet, and then you can get it into your hanger in the rear. And then we can go back to our clamp and tighten that down. And now back at the clamp, slide it into place and take your 15mm socket to tighten it down. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Borla S-Type single exhaust system with polished tip side exit for your 2016 to 23 3.5 liter Tacoma. Thank you for watching, and for all things Tacoma, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.